Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now today I wanted to talk about how a change of mindset and a change of opinions about things has opened up the possibility for me to be able to make the videos like I've always wanted to make videos. But when you start out on YouTube, you tend to try and follow a particular trend of what's the most popular thing at the time, and you make videos about condos and looking at a different restaurant and the food's good. And while it's fun to make those videos, deep down you actually want to talk a bit about the bigger picture. But you're not concerned that there are going to be people out there leaving hurtful comments. But you're more concerned about people disagreeing with you and not understanding where you're coming from. But I had a pretty big mind shift a number of years ago, maybe two, maybe a bit less than that, where I've slowly been moving towards making videos about what I actually want to make about, which is Thailand, but taking it from the approach of someone who's lived here for a long time. And what about Thailand do I not like? What about Thailand do I see as being a problem that other expats who perhaps want to move to the country don't necessarily know is a case? And warning people about little things that you wouldn't even think of as being a problem before they actually happen to someone else. I like to share stories, I like to read stories, I've always been interested in that type of thing. And the reason I'm making this video is because when I've made, on this channel I'm talking about, the last 3 or 4 videos, the amount of absolute hate, the amount of absolute awful comments that people tend to make, I actually embrace them and welcome them, because to me that means I'm doing something right. Before though, it was always a little bit uncomfortable, but it's something that you get used to. And I find that people don't necessarily understand what I'm talking about from my particular perspective. There will always be people who see somebody else saying something negative with regards to what they themselves are doing, and they're trying to fight back as a way to justify their own decisions. And being able to sort of embrace that has helped me considerably to go from working in Thailand making okay money, working in Thailand and being okay, I can't complain. Well, this isn't our house here because we're renting it in Pattaya at the moment, but we have things moving in a good position. I'm pretty happy. But to now, sort of being where I've always wanted to be, and that's because of YouTube and because of embracing the fact that there will be people out there that absolutely hate you. And if you don't have people that hate you, that means you're doing something wrong. Because if you think about it for what it is, that's generally how I've started to think. So every time I make a video why no longer welcome in Thailand, and making that video about having to go to the AIS shop to update the personal information, these are meant to be real situations in Thailand from someone who's lived there a long time, so that somebody who can make a decision isn't going to be taking advice from people who are only sharing one side of the coin. They're not sharing everything that happens in Thailand. There are too many people who, I believe, have moved to Thailand themselves, done things that they regret immensely. I mean, I've spoken to countless people who regret things that they've done in Thailand. Countless people. Yet there are people who regret things, but they're not able to actually let go. They're fighting back in a way to try to justify some of the insane things that they've done. And I technically kind of believe that it's this sort of person who will push back when anything being put up online goes against their own personal situation. Now, I've heard all kinds of things, all kinds of awful comments, but again, I embrace them because that means that you must be doing something right. One guy left a comment, it's tragic if you're doing this to make money. Okay, this channel, how much has this channel made in the last few days? What, $50? This channel isn't the channel that is the most important one. This is one I'm just doing it for fun because I like to speak to the camera like this, or my phone, which is actually what I'm using to record. I enjoy doing it. I think it's fun, I get pleasure from it, and if I want to talk about what I want to talk about, then I will do that. If someone doesn't like it, even better. If someone will take something from it and understand what I'm trying to say, then that will be a benefit as well. But I think Thailand is an amazing country. I've never said anything negative actually about the country of Thailand itself. The negatives I've shared are basically as a foreigner, and there are many people out there in a similar position to me, people who would never comment in a way like these other people do because they understand what I'm trying to say. It's these people who I'm targeting here. It's these people who I'm trying to share, what I think about it in a way to, just come together with expats who have been in the country for a long time, who have developed ties to the country, who have maybe built their entire lives in the country, and kind of just share a few little niggles that we have about the place together. And of course there are going to be people coming on board. I got a 20-year elite visa. Yeah, but that's not the same, is it? You're not living in the country in the same way as someone with an actual connection to it. You are worse, not worse, you're not worse as a person. I mean, an elite visa is pointless. Okay, you can stay in the country. Perhaps you've got no idea and desire to live in the country in the future. Fine, that's great. But there are people, many people in Thailand, in a similar position to me, who I've spoken to, who feel exactly the same way that I do, yet there's no one talking about these things. There's no one talking about wanting to live in Thailand as opposed to remain in Thailand. It's a very different thing. And I believe that, ever since I've started to embrace, all the negativity that comes to this channel and whatever else you're doing, it's allowed me to share a side of things that most people don't want to share, that yet many people feel dreadful for on a daily, monthly, weekly, whatever basis, because it's the situation where they're not able to get what they want either because of the current rules and regulations. And I just wanted to make videos on this channel as a way to share that, or share the actual feeling of long-term expats in the country. Because talk to many long-term expats, most of them will have this same kind of niggle when it comes to the ability to stay in the country. Most of them will. The ones that don't are either lying or they spend some time in the country and some time out. There are people whose whole life is Thailand, nothing in their own country, not even a bank account in their own country, and this is where they live. So that's what this channel is meant to be directed at, people who are long-stay expats, not necessarily directed, lots of videos, lots of topics. And I wanted to say, I know that there are a few people that watch this channel who really agree and really like it, but they're not comfortable to make their own channels as well. But what I would say is embrace all the negativity, embrace it, and actually cherish it is a bit of a strong word, isn't it? Not cherish it, but think of it as what it is. People who are so dead set against what you're doing, so hating of what you're doing, that they will fight back anonymously, bravely in the comments. And I think that's really amusing. One guy said I should be deported. Okay, why should I be deported? For what? Sharing an honest truth about a country I've spent more than half my life in? Okay, if you believe that, fair enough. I don't think I've done anything illegal here, but if you believe that's the case. And there's always, it's always the people who have been here for the least amount of time on an elite visa or a DTV visa or not even a proper visa, who are still in the early stages of their Thailand adventure, that they're not yet at a point where they feel that they've dedicated their whole lives to being able to stay somewhere. And while, yes, you could stay there indefinitely, just having to jump through hoops, too many people don't want to do this. Or too many people love Thailand, they love living here, they embrace everything about it. They live in Thai areas, they have Thai families, they work, they have work permits, they do whatever they do to be able to live here. Yet most of them, if in fact not all of them, hold out hopes to just feel like they're part of the country as opposed to being a temporary or a permanent guest. And I believe there are so many different nuances that go along with this, so many different opinions that different people hold about things. And that's why you have YouTube, isn't it? But the idea is to share everything. If you don't like this type of content, you don't need to watch it, do you? That's fine. There are hundreds of people talking about how fantastic a plate of pad gopao is, and how much a particular hotel costs, or this great island that's completely undiscovered, as 1,000 people have made the same videos. Why don't you go and watch that? I believe that, I keep saying I believe even though I've said that too many times, but one thing I like about this channel, it's meant to be sort of off the cuff, talking about things without any edits. That's what it's meant to be. Talking about a particular subject, so if I make any errors, that's just part and parcel of it. I enjoy it, so what's the problem? But it's the shift in mindset, the shift in how you're taken and how other people feel about you, that I believe has allowed me to, I wouldn't say succeed because I'm not retired yet, but in order to get to a point where, what am I trying to say here? To get to a point where the thought of having to go and waste 4 hours doing something isn't just an annoyance, because before doing something like that, when you're working at a normal job, it was a reason to have a paid day off work. Oh, I need to go and do that. You've got to have business leave. You get an allocation of business leave when you're working in Thailand because there are so many things that you need to do. Fantastic. I remember when I was working in Bangkok, it's like, oh, I've got to go and do my 90-day report. But it's like, yes, I've got to go and do my 90-day report. Why? Because I can have a day off work that's paid for. But now that I'm doing things for myself, now that I'm working for myself, every time I have to do something that takes me away from this, it's like, it's not only taking me away, but I'm losing the time that I should be doing something else, which could, give me a better end of the month. Because I'm doing better at YouTube than I have done at anything else before. So, for the people who said it's tragic that you're making videos, I guess you don't have any idea how YouTube works, do you? Now granted, this channel, yes, it's not here to make substantial amounts of money. It won't, because the very nature of this channel is not built like that. But it doesn't have to be. This was for fun. But it will make, I don't know, probably this one won't, because this is just more of an in-depth thing, so it's not going to get as many views as others. But if you can think, it's still something. And then what about the video I just recorded before this one, the one I released yesterday, if I keep to the schedule I planned? Well, there's that one as well. And what about the other video I made? And when I recorded for Talks of Thailand Originals, because there's so much AI coming up and I keep getting targeted by people who say Talks of Thailand is AI. And if anyone who believes it's AI, I would say it time and time again, actually listen to a Talks of Thailand story and compare it to other stories, and you will understand that there's a big difference. I believe there is, and if you can't see it, then that's fine. But because there's so much AI coming up, doing Talks of Thailand Originals, so I recorded 3 of those this morning. Now, those were already videos that we have, and it's just older videos re-recorded in better quality. And yeah, I've got so much to do. Anytime taken away from there, I see it as taking away from what I should be doing, which is, following a dream. Literally living a dream here, being able to do YouTube as a full-time job. I wanted to do that ever since I started. How long ago? A very long time ago. Tried and failed and oh, it's working. And it wasn't without hard effort. And going back right to the beginning, what I'm trying to say is it's embracing all the hatred that comes because of that I believe has allowed me to get in this place. So that's why I'm comfortable putting up any kind of video that many people will really not like and will really have a dig, because it's by embracing that I believe I've got to where I am now. Again, who knows how long it will last? You never know, do you? That's why you have backup plans. Great, no problem. But there are too many people, I believe, who, even ones that make videos, who don't share the truth about things. Before, when I was making different styles of videos, yeah, I shared the truth. Of course I did. I love living this. This is great. I like this. And I would always say something I didn't like, but just not overemphasize on it. But now, it's pointless me talking about how after I finish this video, okay, it's a Sunday today, so I only work for until about 3 p.m. on a Sunday. After I've made this video, I'm going to go out and we're going to go out for a meal or whatever we're going to do. And I'm not going to talk about how great the food was, because who cares? It's not going to affect anyone's life. But if something happens where I have to waste 6 or 7 hours in order to change my address because the 90-day report online feature didn't work, and there are people who perhaps are equally as busy doing things, who want to move to Thailand in order to work online, who don't have time available to take hours out of the day regularly in order to do things, perhaps they will be able to take a step back and think, I didn't know that was actually a thing. What do I need to do for the visa I need? Can I do things on weekends when I'm not working? I believe it's helping people who are not at retirement yet, or who don't necessarily understand the nuances of living in Thailand, because that's what it's meant to be about at the end of the day. So I will continue making videos along these lines because I enjoy it. But this isn't the main channel. It's not, because, well, for obvious reasons. Talks of Thailand will remain to be the main channel, and yeah, just trying to fight back against all the AI coming up at the moment. Not fight back, people are within their rights to do that, but I like to tell stories. I like to share what's happened, and because of that, what I'm trying to say is, probably said this 3 or 4 times already because I can't necessarily remember what I've said right at the start of this video, but as soon as you get to a point in time when you're able to completely not care about anything that anybody says to you, and actually look at the negative comment and think, I must be doing something right here, that's when I believe you can actually take a step further from where you currently are in order to get to a position that you want to be in. And yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I'm very happy with things. Am I happy in Thailand? Will I live here forever? I don't think I will, no. Am I miserable in the meantime? Absolutely not. Having a whale of a time. It's amazing. Like I said, going out, going to do some nice things, great. Even found an amazing place in Pattaya where you can get this, the best pie I've ever had in Thailand. Steak and Guinness pie, proper mushy peas, proper chips cooked in beef dripping. Okay, for that it's like 750 baht. It's not cheap. But I'm loving living in Thailand. Permanently, will Thailand be my forever home? Probably not, because of the reasons I've already said. But what am I trying to say here? I don't know. I'm just enjoying myself making videos. And if I want to make a video complaining about something, I will do just that, because it is a real annoyance. And I believe, at least to some people, it will add a little bit of value for them to come to a more accurate decision whether Thailand will be a place for them. Because I believe that's important. And many people, as I said in the last video, and I'll finish it off here, many people are taking life-changing decisions based on what they see on YouTube from people who aren't giving even a small fraction of the full picture. They're only sharing the positives. I'm working on a beach, I'm doing this. But they're not sharing everything else that goes along with that. And I believe that's quite concerning. So that's the reason for this. I'm trying to help people not make the same mistakes that many people have made in Thailand. And there's a video on this channel I made, I can't remember, 3 or 4 months ago, when I was up in Isan speaking to a guy who basically still together with his wife, living there, having an awful time of things, because he doesn't have another choice. He can't do anything about it. Now, is he a permanent resident? Of course he's not, no. Would that make any difference to his life if he was? It would make a lifetime of difference, because he's not concerned about always having a particular amount of money in the bank for the visa. he wouldn't be concerned about anything, because he could rest in the knowledge that, okay, at least he can stay in this house even though he's not got any money at all. That's the thing that I believe is important. And too many people have been in negative situations in Thailand, way too many. And it's about time enough people started sharing both sides of the coin. And I appreciate everyone who saying the positive comments. Really appreciate all of them. But the negative ones, yeah, keep them coming, because it's just more fuel on the fire, isn't it? And if you can't take someone sharing an opinion that you don't believe, then, I don't know, make your own channel and tell people exactly how it should be done, because you obviously know a lot better than I do. Anyway, really appreciate you guys watching, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Probably going to record it immediately after this one. Anyway, cheers.